Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Wednesday, December 16th, 2015. Black Wolf here at the microphone of the Lynn-Life. Luce is here under special circumstances, and Ra is in the back room. Cosa is in the Jamie body mind, and other teammates are in other aspects of the physical dimension. All of us are in the physical dimension and in the subatomic from the perspective of the spirit world viewers. We have a lot of action going on in multiple fronts in our work today. We don't know what the videoed spotlight will shine upon. We're using the foundational intention, which is to do what is ours to do right now in all dimensions, to manifest the divine plan. The data clearly showing what's needed is to provide a collective restart. Wiser minds above, noticing nothing happens without a deadline, have changed spirit world policy and have given us the deadline of January 17th, 2017, by which to provide this collective restart, and given us a series of nested deadlines that take us from where we are in any moment to that collective restart. The next deadline is the start of winter, the winter solstice. And with that, the videoed portion of today's effort begins. My attention is being brought to Ra 2 and the search for the Golden Ark People.
That's true.
He seems to have come back from that tangent that he was on, and
That's
he
true.
seems to be to me it looks like a river, like a ford in
Yes.
the river where he would have to go through without a bridge.
That's true.
And there seems to be a lot of sadness here. It seems as though the Golden Ark people were waiting for help for a really long time.
That's true.
And their attitude about maybe spirit or source or God in some way is changed because of how long it took for help to arrive.
That's true.
And it feels as though Ra is spending an appropriate amount of energy to try to get over this rough spot in the relationship. Let's tune for all of us to be drawn to our right places, including, of course, these Golden Ark people.
That's true.
They don't want to move from this place. They seem very adamant about that.
That's true.
Maybe it's along the lines of too many of us have already died. We
That's
don't want to
true.
leave our fallen companions. This is where my mother is buried. This is where my sister is buried. This is
Right.
where so many of my memories are buried. I don't want to leave here. We ask the Golden Ark people what their hopes and dreams are.
It sounds very much like refugees saying, I just want to be in the place where I'm supposed to be, in a safe place, and I want to start
Can you
again.
say all that again, because I'm
Oh.
being distracted by this ant that is
Oh my
crawling
goodness.
all over me, and now it's off me. But it
I
was
had that
like-
earlier. I had ants in
like-
the leg hair.
Well, it was a really big one, and it's just like really
yeah,
big
I had
and
two
quick.
big carpenter ants
Yeah.
earlier in the filming where it was like, that is an enormous ant.
Nature's presence is trying to get our attention.
That's true.
But they're breaking into everything. It's like we need to work
No.
with other people too. They
That's true.
continually
It's the
say,
feeling
"Pay
like in the
attention to
hospital,
me."
right, of come back, I'm not all better yet.
Well, you're not the only patient in the hospital.
That's the confusion, maybe.
There's they know that. They're just really selfish. Well, without the concept of a greater good,
That makes sense.
it would, that's what it would devolve to.
That's true. Now you have a mosquito.
Now the Golden Ark people seem ready to think about the fact that this isn't where they're supposed to be, because they can't fulfill their destinies from here. I can't quite tell what their destinies are, but I can tell that they they don't have what they need
That's
here.
true.
This isn't a place that will work. The loss of our companions is a life event. We don't like it. We've lost many companions along the way also.
That's true.
And the question is, what do we do with these life events? Do we use them as excuses to not fulfill our destinies, or as motivation to move forward with more determination and more focus into that which is ours to do?
That's true.
So the Golden Ark people have this opportunity to stop choosing excuses and start choosing motivation.
That's true.
It's really clear that the Golden Ark people are off of the midline of the Search for Truth pillar.
That's true.
And this isn't their right place. All the action is on the midline. People that far off the beaten path aren't where they're supposed to be. That has held true 100% of the time through thousands and thousands and thousands of interactions.
That's true.
So if you intend to live your destiny, then coming back to the midline will be helpful. If you don't intend to live your destiny, then we're going to have to let you go, but we aren't going to be able to come back and rescue you again, or you at least can't count on that.
That's true.
Too many people hang on to this mistaken idea that we will somehow be able to circle around and pick them up again. And we would say, I sent 3 rowboats and a helicopter.
That's true.
This is the rescue boat. This is it right now. Do you want to get on it and come back? It seems like they are getting on the rescue boat.
I feel them getting on. That's true.
And Ratu looks relieved. I feel like he's getting into the boat with them.
That's true.
He looks bigger than they are.
Yes.
He's kind of
scooping them
up. Shepherding them onto the boat.
That's true.
Saying, okay, here we go. And he has a flock of ideas with him.
That's true.
Okay, here we go. Back to the midline. And we can throw rose petals on the water and make it a beautiful ceremony of goodbye.
That's
to
true.
The final resting place of many of our fallen companions. But knowing how reincarnation is a reality, is it possible that they have reincarnated, are in fact ahead of us where we're going in the Search for Truth pillar?
That's possible.
It's possible.
Oh my goodness. I have a mosquito bite my hand and there's ants crawling on my hair.
So we say to the nature realm's presences, there are other presences who also deserve the focus and the attention, and this seems to be hard for you to process, but it's still true. It's still true.
That's true.
And these non-physical, ethereal presences that are ideas and other areas of thought,
yes.
And other areas of experience, maybe,
it could be.
that the nature realms doesn't seem to want to acknowledge their validity as a sentience.
That's true.
But they are sentient.
No, they don't want to acknowledge that at all. There's a lot of argument and
they
anger.
aren't real people.
That's true.
Well, can you see that this is bigotry?
I think they can see that it's bigotry.
But they want to say, but it's different than the bigotry that we have to deal with.
Right.
Which is funny, because that's bigotry upon bigotry.
That's true.
It's all the same. We're going to come back with these Golden Ark people and try to work with them and figure out what their contribution is.
That's true. There's a feeling from Luce of not wanting to be like nature realm's presences, demanding attention, but also feeling kind of panicked, very anxious.
What is it, Luce? What is it? I know you've been anxious. What's going on? He's saying you don't understand. There's so much trouble headed our way.
He's anxious and sad.
Luce, it's always this way. There's always so much trouble headed our way. It's always this way.
That's true. And I can feel that what he's looking at actually is not too different from all kinds of hardship that we've dealt with before. It actually just looks like another day.
Yeah, this is how it is every day. It's like this every day.
This just looks like another day.
This is how it is here. This is why the supplies are so crucial.
And he feels really badly about the supplies. He said the word supplies, and I got that feeling of, oh, don't bring that up. Like, I don't want to talk about that right now.
Right. Well, I don't think it's possible for you to work on the supplies while you're here. That doesn't seem to be working.
No, and I think he knows that.
I think that they have to be worked on in the non-physical, and so now the question is, what are you supposed to be doing here? I know that you're supposed to be stretching longer.
That's true.
And maybe you can get through to Pan, because this is so inappropriate, you know? It's like there's just this continual barrage of nature realms messages who refuse to give time to anybody else. They hog the message meter over and over and over again, and yet don't acknowledge the reality of nature realms on nature realms violence.
That's true.
And don't want to introduce the concept of greater good into the programming of the nature realms. So we are at an impasse.
That's true.
Stretching longer is one way to go about it. Stretching longer. How high must we reach in order to find a presence of true integrity? If you can't work with the supplies, and I don't know that you can, I don't know that, then you could work to improve the other aspects.
That's true.
Of Team Awakening's experience. Strengthen it, make it a stronger, safer place in which to work.
That's
and
true.
As we extend the length of the pillar higher and higher and higher up, presumably there will become another safe space. We used to have a non-physical control room, for example, that was above us.
That's true.
In the pillar, and it worked well for a while, and then it just felt weak. She felt weak. She seemed like a sentience of femininity.
That's true.
And she absorbed into the physical hosts. And that's fine, but it's possible to build a lab in the upper reaches of the pillar where you could do your work, as long as the upper reaches of the pillar are solid enough. And that's where stretching longer, how high must we reach to find a presence of true integrity, might fit into it. And
that's
so if you actually went for that like your hair's on fire, maybe you would discover where you can set up your lab again in a place that'll work.
That's true.
And if not, then this is a short association once more, because you can't just hang around here.
That's true.
Luce, these are all life events. All the bad stuff that comes our way in this daily barrage, these are all life events. And as always, the opportunity is to use them as motivation. This is an opportunity for you to change a habit that has messed you up for as long as I've known you.
That's true.
Now is a good time to change it. You can change it. These are life events. Use them as motivation to do what you're supposed to do.
He seems to have confusion about what he's supposed to do versus what he wants to do.
Luce, we just channeled as clearly as we know how what you're supposed to do.
That's true.
We don't have another answer. Are you answer shopping? What's going on? If you're going to answer shop, then please leave now. Extend the Search for Truth pillar up. Create a safe space up there so that you can once more move your lab into the non-physical. That lab needs to be in the non-physical. It doesn't work to have it in the physical. You've tested it, and you don't believe it works any more than I do. And so now it needs to go upstairs again. And so we need a safe place for you to work. We've tried sending you really far away, and that's unsafe because your own higher souls try to eat you, basically, absorb you into them. So you have to stay close by. It's just the gig. And to develop a habit of using all events of life as motivation to do the work. Yes, people are shooting at us all the time. We already know that.
That's true.
Either will or won't. But
That's true.
Luce, we're getting ready to eject you again. That's what's getting ready to happen. Your window of opportunity is closing. That's what's happening. Your window of opportunity is closing. Do it or don't do it.